What I have are some setup blocks. Originally, they were quick reference blocks for getting my table saw blade back to 90 or set to a certain degree. So I was doing a project earlier where I needed to go from 30 degrees back to 90, back to 30, back to 90. And it was just easier to make one of these setup blocks. So what I have here is one set at 30 and 60. The 60 isn't necessary, and you'll also notice there's a little notch right here. I will explain that here in just a second. Because somebody will find that very useful. I have a 9 and a 14 degree, and then I have the old 45 and a 90. They're very accurate. I milled these up out of some maple that I had in the scrap bin, and I milled them up the best I could at the table saw, and then took them to the bench and used the hand plane on them until everything was parallel and square and true and everything lined up. And then I brought them back here to the table saw and used my miter gauge to get my angles. I have a very accurate miter gauge. It's the Incra Miter 1000 HD. And then I cut some little recesses in the bottom, and that's where I would use some CA glue to put in the magnets. Now the magnets was sort of an afterthought only because it dawned on me that we could use these in a lot of other places. So for machine setup, this is great, right? Now it is wood, but that means it's tunable. So the idea here is, and again, it doesn't have to be magnetic. Obviously, set it down here, set your blade and run away. The 60 degree isn't exactly necessary here at the saw because the opposite of 60 degrees is 30 degrees. So I can just set this to 30 degrees. However, there's times when you need to reference your angle from the fence and not from the table. And that's where this would come into play. So let's say you have some extreme angle that you're not able to get past and get down this way on your saw, which means you have to run something up against the fence, like tall-wise, like for a raised panel door or something. With the magnet in it, if you have a 1, 2, 3 block, you can get that measurement very quickly. The little notch is so that you can get it past the teeth. I'm sure there's other things that I'm missing that you could use this with the 1, 2, 3 blocks or any other kind of setup. But one thing that is super cool, and I wish I would have thought about this a long time ago, is you can put a ruler on it. For general layout work, this alone is pretty cool. Just the fact that you could make up any repeated angle that you want. Also, they'll just magnet right underneath the saw. So since that's what I actually got them for, or made them for to begin with, that's pretty good. And if you don't have a whole lot of steel on your saw, just throw a couple magnet strips on your workbench or something, just plop them down right underneath. Pretty easy. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching as always, and we'll see you guys in the next video.